Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Staying with the updates of the tank. This one is my pure macro algae tank. As you can see, there's a ton of chlorpa in here. I moved most of my chlorpa out of the reef tank and put it in here because I really wanted to give that seagrass appearance, and the chlorpa is really starting to do it nicely. It'll hopefully take over the entire bottom of the tank. Now, this tank was my freshwater shrimp tank. They've all been moved into my big massive display tank, which is with the discus and the ultims, and they're all doing fine in there. Surprisingly, nobody's getting eaten, at least nobody that I can see. So they're fine. As you can see, the bottom of it is the fluoride I had in there in the sand mix. The chlorpa's taken over it really nicely. There is some flourish root tabs down there, so they do get a little bit of nutrients down there, plus the feeding. See, I got a pair of chromas in here. And yes, they're named after the Three Stooges because there is a third one hiding around in here somewhere. You can see the red dragon's breath all over this tank. I do sell it because, well, you know, you got to pay the feed, to feed the monster somehow, and why not let the monster pay for itself? Currently, I think I've got close to 60 frags in this tank on frag racks by themselves, plus another 50, 60 throughout the tank that are used for decoration on the rocks. Let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this tank. It's a 10-gallon Aqueon. And yes, the only filter on this tank is that one power filter up the top that has been modified. It's a sponge filter. That is a Hikari sponge filter for a 10-gallon nano mounted on a power head. And that's what I've got for filtration. Now I do a 20% water change every 2 weeks. That's 2 gallons of water for this tank. It's got 8 gallons total volume in it after you put in sand and rock. As I've said before, the best way to do it is fill up 1-gallon jugs and see where you hit your mark when you come all the way up to the top right here. Lighting, well, same lighting I've always had on this tank even when I had the freshwater shrimp. It's the 2 Walmart lights plus the Walmart grow light. I got $24 in lighting in this tank, and this is how it looks. It cost me to run this tank a month about $1.25 in electricity. Lights come on typically at 2 p.m. They go off at 9 p.m. Tank gets fed every day. I do dose iron every 3 days, 6 milliliters, and Flourish Advanced every day, 2 milliliters. That's what you get with it. So as I like to tell people, and you hear me preaching on all of them, you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, okay, let's be honest. Well, no, that could be honest. Thousands of dollars in a saltwater tank. This tank, $10 for the aquarium, $24 for the lights. So you got $34. I think that filter's $10, so let's call it $44 there. The power head part of it itself was, I think, $20. So we're at $64. The rock work, yeah, you're going to spend a little bit of money for this. So let's just say $20 in rock. So we're at $84. Your salt mix, let's call it $104. Your initial plant setup, if you're just doing dragon's breath and chlorpa, $124, and the 3 chromas I know were $8 each, so under $150, and there you go. Plus your substrate, let's call it $160 for everything, just round it around. That's it. So if you want to get into salt water, have some of the beautiful fish, there you go. I would not suggest putting a tang in this or the tang police will get you. But you know, for nano fish, you could put them in here and they'll do just fine. Get a lot of people telling me I need to turn this into a seahorse tank, and it keeps crossing my mind, but seahorses, that's a lot of effort and a lot of time that I don't know if I want to put into it because you have to continuously feed them. They don't digest all their food. I'd have to set up a different housing for some kind of filter, probably go with a big canister filter to help try and export it. Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see in time. The parameters on this tank are the exact same as pretty much all of our tanks. Let's see if I can pull them up. Alrighty. This one, the temperature on the tank is running 77.2. The salinity is running 35 parts per million. pH on this tank is actually 8.2. This tank also will purl during the day, which is, anybody that doesn't know, it means that the plants are actually putting out bubbles. Look it up if you don't know. Make this video real long if I had to get into the full scientific. The ammonia is 0. Alkalinity in this tank is 9.5 DKH. Nitrite 0. Nitrate 2.5. Phosphate 0. Calcium is 450. So pretty easy going, pretty stable. And really, even before a water change, it's not any higher or lower. I just do the water change to do the water change because I like doing them, okay? I'm honest. I actually enjoy doing it. Vacuum the gravel out a little bit. Get some of the dead leaves out. A little maintenance is fun to me. But again, here's another example of a very simple, easy tank to do. In comparison, freshwater wise, you can run this tank the exact same way in freshwater. Just think about that. I've got a saltwater tank that can be a freshwater tank, or a freshwater tank that can be a saltwater tank. This setup I use on my freshwater tanks. This is the exact setup I had for the shrimp tank minus the salt. So, give you something to think about. Maybe in the time you'll get one yourself. But until the next update, you have a great day.